So without further ado, what is your Kaiser? Okay, what level are you at?
236.
236. Okay, okay. So immediately I'm thinking like 17 star, 2-star legendary potential. Where do I go from here, kind of thing?
Yeah. That's pretty much that's where I'm at right now. I'm like at the last event I did most of my items to 15 star and
Mm-hmm.
I had some extra money and items, so I just prepped some arcane stuff. But this has mostly been a solo progression for me. I haven't really done any group play at all. Um, I think you carried me through hard yellow one time, but I think it's the only thing that I actually got really carried on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but really, pretty much every other boss, like I've trying to tackle down on my own so far. So it's been so that's why I'm like you can see I have like 17 starred like a 140 gear, but like
Mm-hmm.
I needed something to carry me through to arcane. I couldn't keep it at a lower level. Kind of needed all that extra little damage I could get.
When you say prep for arcane, do you mean like the
Oh, sorry,
the?
Absol, not arcane.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I was gonna
Right.
because I was looking for purple stuff and I couldn't see any purple stuff, so I was like, right, right. Okay. To move. So that's the next move for you to move into full Abzo. You have all the pieces and the drops, or.
No, I've actually I'm stuck at Lotus right now, so I haven't
Mm-hmm.
uh gotten to him. I've gotten to stage 3, but like I usually enter stage 3 with like 1 life, so then
Mm-hmm.
I get like that bus thing comes down and I miss it. I don't get enough practice on it. It's just like, oh,
Right.
there goes the run.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I wish there was like a phase selector when you're doing practice mode. You can choose to go into a different stage of the match. That would be ideal, I think.
yeah.
You just practice phase 3 a little bit. So is it phase 1 that's costing you your lives? I assume.
Mostly, yeah. The lasers usually get me, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll just like either teleport at the wrong time, or I'll like Kaiser has that weird teleport, and it's always longer than I think it is. So I always either like teleport into the back end of a laser, or like I know the trick to like try
Mm-hmm.
to teleport when it's like completely vertical, so then you don't go into the X.
Yeah.
So I've been practicing that.
Mm-hmm.
But usually it's the timing, or it's those little bots that don't kill them fast enough, and they usually like
Hmm.
random like, invert me or something into a laser.
Yeah, that's usually a rough one, like a seal and an invert together, and then once you get figured out that you're inverted, then you get uninverted again, and you still walk into it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, you have like one major summon, right? That is like up all the
Uh,
time, and then the other one has a little bit shorter. You have like the dragon on the ground or something.
yeah, I have this the stone dragon, and then there's a little AOE on a floor thing, Infernal Breath.
Yeah, the breath. Yeah. Where do you usually put those to help you with the run?
I don't.
Mm-hmm. So if you put the summon up, what can happen is that they can kill maybe some of the robots before they get to you, and then you can
Okay.
create some more distance. So what I would try is to put the summon a little bit more to one side of the middle, and then you yourself stand a little bit to the other side of the middle. Um, Ideally, it would depend on the rotation of the laser, so that the the position you're moving into has no summon, but that the summon kind of hits the things behind you, so you could be facing the middle, and then kill the things that are coming from the other side of the middle. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yes.
So that the robot kind of like, not the robot, the summon tries to hit the things behind you, and maybe, yeah, I guess if you rely on Bladefall, no, not on Bladefall, but like the skill before Bladefall, you never really use that anymore, right? Because you always want to have your
Yeah.
swords up for Bladefall.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I usually just use well,
Yeah,
wing beat and Gigas are my two main
yeah.
damaging ones, but
But because I think Gigas will stop short and then not hit things that are oncoming. So yeah, sorry, Wingbeat will like stop short, right? So you'll have to kill them with Gigas Wave. But the things behind you can still like catch up to you and then start annoying you.
yeah, yeah.
So I think the summon will help you keep those in check a little bit.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
Um,
I never thought of using that.
yeah, and if you're in the middle, I would always like kind of just like attack left, attack right, attack left, attack right to kind of like keep them at bay once you're stuck in the middle. But then also if you're going in the direction of the laser, that should also mean that once you teleport back, you're teleporting towards the summon, and hopefully your summon is killing the robots there, so you don't teleport into something that stuns you or inverts you or whatever.
Right.
And then and then hopefully that makes the stage faster to the point where maybe the laser doesn't speed up anymore, right? So I would definitely prep as many things as you have and go like full burst immediately in the beginning, so just so you get out of phase 1 as fast as possible. Because phase 2 is pretty chill, I think. Do you have knockdown resistance in the transform or just knock back?
I think it's just knock back.
You still get like the push attack from Lotus in phase 2 and 3 that still pushes you.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to use like impenetrable skin or something to not get knocked down, right?
Okay, yeah.
Do you know about that?
I do have that. I haven't tried that before, but
so what you could do is, if you're like prepping your big burst in phase 3, I assume you're equipping the bind, right? When you want to confirm the blade fall damage, because otherwise, if that misses, it's a little bit wonky, right? Yeah, like this. So do is like prep most of your skills, bind him, blade fall, prep all the other stuff, and then after the bind is over and he starts moving again, then pop an impenetrable skin so that he doesn't push you back. So you can't stay in range, and then you just have to like out heal his pushes, I guess.
Okay.
That's one thing I would try. I'm trying to see though what skill you would sacrifice for that, but
I right now I'm overkilling the one. I have the first two top left ones are the perfect tri nodes, but one's 25, the other's 22, and I just haven't had any luck getting the last 3 levels just yet. So
that boost node is just helping the last 3 levels.
Yeah, but it's like way overkill. But otherwise, it's like at 56 or something like that, or 57. So I'm like that 3 or 4%. It's like, or 3 or 4 levels is like 10% almost.
Yeah. It's 6%, right? 2% per level, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so
I think for it's different for different the skills. I think for
if it's a lower level,
skill, it's I think Gigas is 2% per level, but then I think Gigas Wave is
the sword
more,
might be might be, what is it? I think it's 2, 3, 5, 7. I think like 2 for fourth job, 3 for third job, 5 for second job, 7 for first job, something like that. Yeah, so it might be 9% for if it's third job, yeah. So so it's either impenetrable skin to make sure that you don't get like knocked around, so you can confirm more of your damage. The Goddess Blessing to confirm more of your damage within the bind duration. That will provide with you extra burst, of course.
Okay.
That's the other option. And then you have that specific Nova skill that gives you some invincibility, right?
Might of Nova. Or that's more. It's kind of like a door, right? It kind of just gives me 1 fatal blow. I think that's all I have.
Let me read up on that one real quick, because I've never gotten a Nova like far enough.
It's well, from what the tooltip says, it's just Might of Nova does not stack with Heaven's Door, and Heaven's Door takes precedence. So.
Yeah, it says that here. Yeah. So you can't have both of those effects on at the same time?
I guess not.
Damn.
I haven't tried. I don't really party, so I don't really know.
Because there's other similar skills that have like a door effect, but you can have them with door, and then you lose them before you lose door. So you can lose it, then you can lose door, then maybe you can reapply the skill, and then you have like 3 extra lives kind of deal. It's kind of weird that for Kaiser they took that out.
I see.
It's kind of scuff. So just as like a giant full map attack, and then after use, you're protected from fatal blows for long time. Okay. With a long ass cooldown.
Yeah, it's very long.
So
I usually don't equip it because of that reason, because I feel it's like I could replace it with a damage skill or something, or something a little more useful. But
yeah, well, if you have 5 lives for the boss fight, you could go in like with the thing stacked for a long time, wait for the cooldown to come back, right? Like a long prep time.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll have 6, and then as soon as you lose it, then reapply it, and then you can go basically give yourself 7 lives.
Right.
That could be like in the beginning when you're still practicing the mechanics and you need a little bit extra help to get there. That might be good in the beginning, and then as you get more used to the mechanics and your survivability gets better, and you get through phase 1 maybe with 1 death, maybe 2, and then you get through phase 2 should be 0 deaths, and then maybe you die once or twice to like weird shit in this last phase. As you get better at that, then you won't need this one anymore, or you can ask someone in the chat or in your guild to be like, hey, can anyone like door me or something?
Right.
Because if you use it to door yourself, then you have to wait another 20 minutes before you can even switch the node around, right?
Yeah.
So that's that's not very useful. So yeah. And you're also using the guild skills, right? And buff freezers and all that?
No, actually, I'm not in a guild at all. But
Okay.
I do use buff freezers, though, yeah.
Because guild skills hard carry for these things. You can get 30 boss, 30 critical damage is insane for these bosses. Because I was able to solo Lotus and Damien on my 220 Cannoneer, who wasn't even like that decked out. Like he has 10k stat less than you. And like number wise in the grid, like it's probably roughly the same, but the range is like half, I think. But like the 30% critical damage is insane to help you out. Mechanics, gets you very far, of course. But yeah, if you could just brute force way more by I mean, it was super close for both Damien and for Lotus, but so you wanna do this solo? Does that also mean you don't want to use guild skills, or does it just mean you don't want to be in a party with people for it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I
You want to try without and then see if it's doable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think it's okay, but you've gotten to
There's
phase
some
3.
Yeah, I got into phase 3. Yeah.
And what's the furthest you've like got them down? Like 20% down or close?
I can't really remember. It's been a while since I last tried.
It can be a little bit demotivating.
Quarter?
Yeah. Okay. Quarter of that. Okay.
Nothing close that it was like I need to do it again. It was kind of like, okay, that's enough for today.
Yeah, it's like dude, let's do something else except for getting like dicked around by Lotus all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Into platforms, into lasers, into wait, have you done it since Awake?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, because
I've taken a step back since Awake. That was like probably when to start. I was really burnt out after what was the last? This pretty much the start of this event. I started getting really burnt out, and I was like, okay,
I see.
Let's dial it down.
So
and it's pretty much
they changed some Lotus stuff with Awake, so the lasers now always start in the X position, so you never have like the risk of spawning into it anymore. That's a big plus. So that probably sometimes happened, right? You load in, instantly die to a laser, that kind of bullshit.
There was a tip that like we had our one call it what do you call it? Invincibility spell that's pretty much as soon as you enter in, you cast it right away, so you don't get hit by it.
Oh,
then,
yes, yeah. You have your AOE thing, right? Is a iframe?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't have to do that anymore. You can save it for like more risky situations. And then the other thing is that the remember in like phase 2 and 3 when he when the platforms fall, he does like a little stutter step, like indicating that he summoned the laser. Like he still does that. If you look at his animations closely, he like kind of moves, stops, and then moves again. And that's like when that's when he summons his laser, so you know for sure the laser is coming. But the delay between that movement and the actual laser spawning is almost like 3 full seconds now. It's quite a lot longer, so you still have quite some time even after he does that to get to safety. So what it basically means is that you want to kind of stay away from the platform until you know for sure that he did that, and then start moving towards the platform and get on it, so that he has to take time to get to you as well. And then by the time he gets to you, probably the laser is already gone again. But they also synchronize the laser and the platform better with that, so that when it's not going to happen anymore where it's like, oh, platforms, and then it takes them like 6-7 seconds to summon the laser, and then the platforms disappear while the laser's still there. That kind of stuff sometimes happens, so that's better synchronized now.
Okay. I actually didn't even know that was the actually proper mechanic to tackle that part of the boss. As soon as I saw the platforms, I would just like get on top of it and just start like trying to damage it as best as I can. So that's interesting to know that that's the actual proper way to deal with that.
Yeah, because as soon as he starts moving towards you, you become very, very vulnerable, right? You need iframe, or you get pushed off. You take push damage into the laser. So one thing that's very important to know for Lotus is that he always attacks you when you're within pixel range. So as long as you keep your distance and he starts attacking, you just step back a little bit and move back. You don't even have to like teleport, but just like walk back a little bit and then just walk to the front again a little bit, and then you can just keep attacking him.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that's and just like that small back and forth is usually very easy. So you can also apply that to the platform stage. So what you want to do is you want to, if you're on a platform and he's to your right, for example, you want to go to the most right side of the platform so that he's closest to you. But then as soon as he attacks, you just move a little bit to the left, so you have some movement on the platform.
All right, and you just kind of keep shuffling back and forth until...
Exactly, yeah. And if you do that even twice, the laser will already be gone because his attack animation is very slow. It takes very long for him to... So as long as you get a good feel for the range of the attack and you just move in and out of that range, depending on your screen resolution and everything, like it'll be just a certain distance that you'll get used to. Maybe you can test it with your own attack range. Like maybe it's like, oh, it's a little bit more than my own attack range, so he'll move to me, and then whatever kind of trick you can use, what kind of visual clue you can use in the beginning, and then after a while it'll just be second nature. You'll be like, oh, now he's close enough, and you'll just be able to predict him way better. But this way you can kind of lure him to use his attack, and then you keep your own safety to like the left side of the platform, or the other side, depending on where the platform is, as opposed to where he is. And then as long as you can juke one of the attacks, the laser should already be gone by the next time you jump off. So.
Okay, that's good to know that actual mechanic. I don't think I've seen that in any guide before. Like I usually just see people like
iframing, praying, up jumping and gliding, or doing stuff that not every class can do, right? This is something every class can do. The only downside is that if something drops right on top of the platform as you're doing it, you want to make sure that you kind of synchronize getting hit and possibly stunned by the things that drop. Synchronize that with moving away from his attack. Okay. You don't want to get like stunned and then have him be moving and then be pushing you in the stun. So then you want to, if you see something's going to befall, you want to draw out his attack as soon as possible, get out of the way of the attack, then get stunned, and then the stun will be gone by the time he can attack again, that kind of thing.
Okay. All right, that takes a little bit of practice.
Yeah, you have to get used to like the rhythm of how long it takes for the laser to spawn, and then like how long his attack lasts, that kind of thing. So once you get used to that rhythm, so I think with the laser stage using the summon, and with that tip for phase 2 and 3, I think you'll do a lot. Better. The other skill that changed in transform, is that also like a teleport now, or because it was a dash or something before?
Yeah, I think it's even out of transform. It's still a tele or a dash, or sorry. It's a teleport, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you could use it to stay in, to stay on the bottom, right? That's usually always like an ideal situation, is to stay on the bottom. So even if it means that you have to like prioritize killing the robots a bit more, it still gains you a lot of DPS because you're not possibly getting hit by rocks on the side, and maybe getting pushed into the middle. Because I don't know what your knockback resistance is like when you're out of transform, because. How much of the fight would you say you're out of transform? Like 20-30%, something like that?
Probably longer than that. But yeah, like
40%?
Probably. Yeah, I can't really. I only have the regular uptime, which is 60 seconds.
Well, yeah, the longer the boss fight is for you, percentage-wise, the longer you're out of it, right? Because if it's just a 2-minute boss fight, you could just be in transformation the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably. Lesser side, probably 40-ish.
Mm-hmm. And how's your knockback resistance during that time?
I think it's maxed out. I think it buffs it up. I think it sits at 80% normally, and then the going into transform gives you the extra 20% to max it out.
And there's some way to get because I feel like if you don't have 100%, you have 0%. Like what I mean is that you need to be able to rely on having it or not having it. And if you don't have it 100%, you can't rely on it fully. And you'll have like the little robots pushing you into the laser. You'll have things falling from the sky, maybe hitting you harder and pushing you to the wrong side. And not just for this boss. If you're doing like CPAP or something, like the little nudges that he can do can push you into a clock. And there's always, So that 20% that's unaccounted for, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as we're practicing the boss, we might also think of looking into the link skills a little bit. Maybe just throwing the Mihail in there just as like a precaution as you're still practicing it, and then when you get better and better with it, you probably can just start doing without, and then you can not only be more confident and just be able to do it the same way, but you'll also get more damage, so you'll be able to do it even faster. So sometimes you have to take one step back to be able to take 2 steps forward, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Okay.
So with that, let's look at the link skills and the Legion, I guess. So we can see what you're working with to support your character. You got 6K. That's very nice.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's more like short term, by the way. Like what you're working on right now, like the Lotus. So is the idea you soloed Damien?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, that's the next. Okay, so once you solo Lotus and Damien, then the plan is to like start joining for Lucid and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Get to like 240 or something, and then start joining parties.
I think the goal level will be 240, and then by then hopefully have been soloed Lotus and Damien, and I think that should be it for the solo part of my progression with this character.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but you're enjoying it so far, despite the small burnout.
Yeah. It's progressing up to I only cleared CPAP like maybe like 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually pretty enjoyable, just tackling that down. Like kind of the slow progression of like failing each boss every week until you get it down was highly enjoyable. Like hard mag and hard Magnus and like CVL were like a huge accomplishment to feel and do. So
For sure.
and then even CPAP too. That's
CPAP, yeah.
it's a freaking pain in the ass of a bite.
Have you done Akechi?
Yes, he's actually not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was actually way easier than any of the other fights.
Okay.
I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it can be the class as well. So if a class can stay ranged, or has to get closer in there, that can be a deciding factor with how you tackle a certain boss fight. If you rely on bind and burst, and then he counters you, and then binds and bursts you, and yeah, there could definitely be some stuff that's class dependent.
Yeah. I think there's a little trick that I learned also on Reddit, is that you keep your back to the edge of the map, and then whenever he does that one shot skill, that you pretty much move behind him, and or it's pretty much with Kaiser, you just teleport behind him, and then you're pretty much free on the other end of behind him, and then once he's done his attack, you go back to the left side again, or to the edge of the map again, and you just keep your back to it, and then whenever you see an attack coming, you pretty much just teleport behind.
But if he's far away from you, how can you teleport fast enough?
Well, you keep your back to the edge of the map, and he just follows you to the edge of the map, and so you have like he.
Oh, I see.
He's always like
yeah, he's moving pretty quickly towards you. Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
That's how I managed to be able to deal with it.
Because his giant AOE that kills you is just like offside, out of the map. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so you got 6K Legion. So did you make one of each?
Yeah, I followed your guide, and I think I got up to Buccaneer, I think the last one, and then I was like, at that point I was at the end of the Astral Blessings, and I was at the last like a few hundred, and I'm like, I don't want to do another one, so and then I just stopped it there and leveled up another character to like 200 instead, and that was enough. But yeah, that was pretty much Astral Blessings got me from like 2K Legion to 6K Legion.
Nice. What did you Terror Burn last time and this time?
I did a Hayato, and I haven't Terror Burned the second one yet because I was hoping to get some advice on what to do next.
Are you thinking of eventually going for 8K Legion or no?
Kind of. I don't know how much I want to do it, but it could be like a end goal to get 8K.
Yeah, the Evan is already pretty high up, so, and the Aaron, like they're both already very close, kind of to the level 3 Link, right? Um,
Yeah, those ones I use the those what do you call it from that the Akachi event. Those sushi thingies at the for the free level
Oh
ups.
yeah, the sushi levels. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I pretty much used it on those and got them from like 60 to like that level there,
Mm-hmm.
and then that the little mini map they had too that leveled up pretty quickly as well. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if you're going for 8K, I think getting the level 3 on the experience links first, and then on all the other useful links is probably the way to go. So I don't think there's anything like if you've gone through the general order. I think the only thing last is maybe like a few characters that give you strength, and then everything else beside that is going to be probably useless for your character, right?
yeah,
Um,
I think only ones I'm missing I think are like the last pirates, and that's the only strength ones I'm missing.
so Buck and then Cannoneer or something.
I did Cannoneer. I think it's just Buccaneer, and I think Buccaneer is actually just the last one. I
Yeah,
have Thunderbreak already.
yeah, Thunderbreaker. Yeah, yeah. I could just check real quick. What else do you have? Paladin and Hero. You have those.
Oh no, I actually don't have those. Those are the ones I'm missing then.
Yeah, those are the strength ones. Dark Knight gives HP for some reason. We have Cannoneer. Xenon gives a little bit. Buccaneer. Kaiser. Thunderbreaker. Hero. Paladin. And then, what's your Arc? You have that one. Adele, you have that one. Yep. Do you have a Xenon?
No, I don't have a Xenon.
Yeah, so it'll be... Yeah, Hero Paladin, finishing the Buck, and then the Xenon will give a little bit. But then other than that, I don't think you can have any more gains member bonus wise. I think you're good, right? If you got all the experience ones and all the crit ones and all that stuff. Wait, did you make the 0?
I started it, but I took level like 103, so I got the 3 levels.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get past the beginning.
Well, because that's also now an experience booster, right?
Yes,
You put it in
I
your
think it's
Legion.
yeah, I'll have to get that.
Yeah, so if you're going for 8K, like that'll be your foundation will be experience, and then crit rate, crit damage, and then flat damage ones. And if you throw all of that onto a character that you're training, you know, usually at 140, you know, you just grab some Pencilier, you Star Force it a little bit, maybe roll for like 3% stat with the cold cubes, maybe get your emblem and your secondary maybe to epic with 6%, and that's about it. And then from there you can, you know, you just Legion coin, maybe event coupons, kind of just like grind it out to 200 one at a time. If you're gonna do that, I would like prioritize definitely the characters that have good level 3 links. And then, because usually at 200, if you get your 5th job, that boost you get, especially now with 4 5th job skills, that's usually enough to at least get you to 205 just very easily, very quickly, doing some pre-quests, you know, getting those rocks from the pre-quests for 5th job, like filling those up. That's like a half a level extra. And then at 205 you can go to Reverse City, and then from 205 to 210 is very fast as well there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if you do, because there's a lot of characters with useful level 3 links, and if you add all of that up, like you get 5% more ID, 5% more boss, 5% more damage, 5%, 11, yeah, 5% more damage on Solus as well, 3% more crit rate, 3% more boss damage on Focus Spirit, the longer duration on Terms and Condition. If you add all of that up, that's already very nice. And if you get the Legion gains out of that as well, from 7.5 to 8. So from 6, so 6.5, 7, 7.5, and in fact, so that's 8 extra characters you can put in. And a lot of the characters that are in now will go from 3 squares to 4 as well.
Right.
Probably
right.
at least like 15 of them. So you're adding like 32, you're adding like 47 or something squares. So basically you're just, you know, lengthening the line all the way into boss damage and then filling out entire boss damage is like what you're looking at as an upgrade.
Right.
And you know, chunk of 40 boss is never never a bad thing.
Yeah. Okay. So to start with the so to recap, do the 0 for the EXP first, or should I start with the stat um, like the strength.
Oh yeah, I did a
Uh,
0 for EXP first, yeah, just so that all the
okay.
other ones are a little bit faster, and then figure out what you want to terror burn. So I'm thinking, you don't rely on the phantom right now?
No, I was thinking mech because of the buff duration, but it's only like an extra 5%.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if it's better to do that or if I should go with or a level 3 link, like the Mercedes or something.
Yeah, because that's kind of what I would go off of as well, is not just like what the value is, but also which character did you dislike the most when you were training it,
Hmm.
and would you enjoy the most
Oh,
just being able to blow through and not having to sit through again.
right.
Yeah, so definitely
Yeah.
consider like Mercedes and Phantom. Usually I would consider Evan as well, but it's already quite a bit higher. It's already getting pretty close. Maybe with some other level up things and stuff, you can get it to 200,
Hmm.
and then it's a home stretch.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll do the Mercedes then.
Yeah, Mercedes or
It's
Phantom
down.
would probably be my advice. Crit rate is always really nice for new characters, but it's it's an extra 5%, and the experience will probably resonate more, I think.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, for some people, marksman is an option, but it's more if critical rate is like very dire. But again, since you do get the extra nodes to 210, you can also transfer extra nodes away from the character. You know how to do that with the untradeable ones?
I think so. Yeah, you just open them up and then dismantle them, right? And then
Yeah,
or
you also have some experience ones, so make sure you use those on some nodes first. Otherwise, yeah, you can't use them as value.
okay.
That way you can salvage that value as well. Yeah.
Okay.
They can help you with some other characters. Maybe if the Evan gets to 200 and needs a little bit of a boost. I don't know how you enjoy playing that character, but for me, Evan wasn't the most fun. Although the fifth job is definitely way more enjoyable than everything before that. But when I went on the character, I don't even know how I got it to 210.
It wasn't too bad, but yeah, definitely not the strongest. But yeah, I
Yeah, I
didn't.
just mages just doesn't really sit with me for some reason.
Yeah.
Horribly biased. Um, okay, yeah. So yeah, the Mercedes, that's definitely a solid option. And then once that's done, 0, all of that is settled, then I would just like slowly work on those last strength guys. I kind of come up with like an order in what you want to like, get everything to 200, probably the jet and the shade probably first, I'm guessing.
Shade's already 210, but yeah, Jet's
Oh,
up
shade is
there.
right. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, it's up here. I see. Yeah, yeah, jet, and then like the critical rate ones, probably marksman, night lord, and then after that it's kind of up to you. But after that, probably do all of the level 3 link ones, and push the extra 10 levels.
Right.
It's like
Okay.
Lumi, that kind of stuff. Lumi DS, but those like Lumi DS, Angelic Buster, those are so ridiculously strong when you pop 5th, and you just
Oh, okay.
yeah. You basically get a bunch of skills that are like the shape of Forsaken Excavation Site 2, so you just sit in that map and just destroy it over and over.
I did not like those classes leveling up at all, to be honest. Like
Mm-hmm.
even Demon Slayer, I felt it was well, maybe it was just like I didn't have the Legion or anything at the time, but it was
Mm-hmm.
like a pain to level up.
With the Infernal Concussion over and over and over.
Yeah. And AB is just I don't know. I didn't feel very strong with Angelic Buster either, but
Yeah, those
I mean,
those pink balls have to come online to start doing some damage, I think.
okay.
You got that little
I'll,
tornado spinny thing. Haven't tried
I'll
the new
read it.
4th V. That'll be interesting to see. Apparently that event time is already over for getting your 4th V for free, so I'm gonna have to buy it on a bunch of characters now. Apparently, feels
Oh,
bad. I didn't pick it up everywhere. Rip.
yeah, it does suck. Feels like it should be free, but that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it was for a little bit. Like if you get your 5th job now, it's free, and then if you had it before, it's free for a little bit. But then you didn't click it during the time, so now get fucked. Like it's a little weird. It's strange, but okay. I guess that's how it is.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's kind of the order. I mean, in general, the placement is pretty fine. I guess there's like one block every time that's like kind of missing, but I mean, It's pretty close to perfect, right? Like there's like one extra block here that goes into buff duration, but doesn't even matter, right? Or two.
I think I did it on purpose because wait, no, did I? I can't remember. I might have done it on purpose or not, but
We probably want
yeah,
some
there
extra
is.
buff duration over like 2 attack, I guess.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
it's a little bit of extra time with the transform, but it's 2% is really nothing at that little bit. But
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's more than 2 attack, I'm pretty sure. Because in the grand scheme of things, especially once you go past 15, then the attack starts deteriorating for sure. So you have Bravado, that's what you're using now.
so last night I just finished off getting the third familiar. So I was thinking I might remove Bravado, but I don't know if I should or not, or keep it. Because I think I can't check what my IED is right now because Legion's down, or was
Yeah.
down.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was sitting at 94 or something percent before I had the third familiar.
And that was that visual or functional?
Visual.
Visual, okay.
So
And do you have any functional outside of the boost nodes? The empirical knowledge boost node.
yeah, I have that. That's
Any passive hypers maybe?
there's a one skill, but I think it's already included in the calculation. I think it's like it's a level 2 or 3 skill. I can't, or
A second or third job skill, you mean?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
or
Yeah, if it's like a passive in second or third, that should always be counted in the because as long as it counts for every single skill you use, regardless of the target, then it'll show up in your stat window.
yeah, I think so yeah, it's already counted in. It's a 4th job skill, and it's already accounted for. I think.
Not quite as good as the hero one, I guess. That's just like 50% IED.
Yeah, it's a 40, but yeah, it's.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I think Aaron has that as well, right? Like a
Mhm.
bunch of IED in different places.
The only other thing is like with Draco Surge gives it additional 50%, but it's only on Draco Surge, and that's like every like
Right.
6 seconds, something like that.
Mhm.
So
It just shoots out every now and then, right? 6 seconds, 8
Yeah.
seconds, something like that.
Yeah.
Extra attack, reinforce, burn, 20%, wing beat, pummel, extra hit. Yeah, it doesn't seem like you have any extra IED here. I guess the only extra IED you would get is weapon aura, right?
yes, yeah.
Which weapon aura is surprisingly long duration when you max it. Like at the
Yeah, it's-
uptime, Orc's Bane, fuck off. That's not what I was looking for. Like at level 1, it's kind of ditzy. Like it lasts for 82 seconds, but it's like 1% final damage, 10% IED, and you're like, eh. But it goes to 6% final damage, 16% IED for 140 seconds off of a 180 cooldown, so it's very high uptime actually.
Yeah. I actually surprisingly don't get a lot of those nodes. I'll get them very like sparsely.
Mm-hmm. Blade fall every now and then, yeah. I guess you could still use you have the second set of boost nodes as well, so that's so nice. Are you still working on that? Because I don't see like the stone dragon dude in the bottom right one.
Sorry, repeat that question, sorry.
With your second set of trinodes.
Oh, yes, I have. I haven't found it yet. I have
Mhm.
gotten one perfect trinode for the second set, but I haven't found
So you're just crafting
second,
blade falls to find the
yeah.
yeah.
I have like 4 or 5 I call it other ones that are leveled up just until I find that one so that I can transfer it in.
Well, you have 4 or 5 level boost nodes?
Sorry, let me see, what do I have? I have
You have
I have I have 3 I have 3 of the the second trinode that I need.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a Tempest. Sorry, I have what was it? Infernal Breath, Blade Burst, and the Stone Dragon. They're all like level 19ish. Just waiting for the second one to land, and then I can transfer it in.
Is this all from open boost nodes, or did you craft a bunch of these?
These are just from opening up ones, and I'll usually just craft the random. When I craft, I just craft the the 35.
Oh, the node stone. Okay, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Because you're only going to be using 2 out of those 3 at most, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because when you do disassemble, when it's this high level, you do lose like quite a lot of value.
So it's better just to not transfer them in and just keep them built up.
Yeah, that's what I usually do as well. So if you actively need them, then usually I would like just settle for like a 2 out of 3, and then if you get a 3 out of 3 later, by making the specific node, eventually, hopefully, you get it and then transfer it over.
Okay.
If you kind of don't need them, but they're like more min-maxy for training later, something like that, then yeah, you could just sit on the nodes themselves, because then what happens is you find your try node, and then you can extract all of the nodes, like one by one, the separate ones, and that gives you way more shards than if you have it leveled up and then extract it.
Okay.
Because for one of the 3, that's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, you're already pretty far in now, so. But maybe for next character.
Yeah, it's good to know then. Right now, like, I think I have a second, like, I have one with Blade Burst. Like, I have pretty much, I made 3 with Blade Burst that will max it out, and then that's what I use to train for now. And it has Gigazon on as well, so then those are the 2 skills I really only use during training.
Right, the Wing Beat is only for bosses, right?
Yeah.
Because it just slows you down when you're training, I assume.
And it doesn't really, like, it just hits the first mob it comes across, and it stays there until it dies.
Oh, so yeah, that's really bad. Okay.
Yeah, so
if you compare that to the tornadoes that zeros get, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
They just like shoot him through the entire map, and it just destroys everything, and then yours is like, wee, I'm spinning.
Yeah.
Does not feel great. Okay.
No.
This is more min-maxy damage on bosses. I guess you also don't really prioritize using it.
On bosses, I use it a lot because it's actually quite a bit of damage, and especially for stationary bosses.
Yeah, stationary bosses. Yeah, okay. That's what I was gonna say.
But other than that, that's all it does.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, once you get that boost node, you'll be fine, and you switch to the other one when you're mobbing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the mobbing set right there.
Holy symbol. Yeah, I'm always a little bit unsure about like weapon aura as a mobbing skill, because I feel like it always casses you if it does anything.
Yes, it does do that.
Because it's like shooting in the direction that you're already moving anyway, right? Have you ever considered crafting the special node? There's a special node called oh, now the name escapes me. I'm trying to say, I want to say team building, but that's not what it is. Character building.
Okay. Oh, that's for the XP.
Yeah, the special node.
Yeah, I think I haven't crafted it before, but I've just gotten it randomly, and I've used it when I've trained when I have it. But
I think it's character building 1. I think it's called. Oh, someone says it's character building. Yeah. That was actually decent for extra training, for extra experience, for if you're gonna do long sessions of training. And since I don't think you specifically need anything else when you're grinding, I would try to like switch weapon aura with it, and then see if that helps you with your rates.
Okay.
So it lasts a week. So what you can do is when you craft it right before it's going to expire, or on the last day before, you can extract it again to recoup some of the shards. So it should be like 240, right? And then you get 50 back, so like 190 shards cost. It's not that bad. But especially if you're doing like some totem sessions, maybe you can make those totem sessions a little bit more bearable and get a little bit more experience out of it.
Yeah.
And on the totem of experience, since we're on the topic of experience, do you also use spirit pendants?
Yeah, I usually do. Sometimes I forget to, but yeah, when I do train, I'll try to pick one up from the dojo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because the dojo shop is, I guess, a little bit more used now with the dojo rework that more people are aware. But in the past, a lot of people forgot that you can get At least every week you can get a 3-day one there, so that's actually really useful if you're going to be training pretty hard. So you have your 3 familiars now, right?
Yeah, I just got it last night. Yeah.
Right. And then the 3 ID are probably very, very helpful for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Papulatus one. That's like a free set right there. That's always nice.
Yeah, I got lucky with that. I'm still trying to grind out the rest of them, but yeah, I did luck it on that one.
Wait until you like open a Seraph from a pack or something. That's a free set right there as well. But I guess you don't need it anymore.
No, yeah, I got the 10.
Yeah, that's fine. Unless you want to min-max it and like fill the whole board or something. It's probably like a collector thing that that some people might be wanting to do.
There's one question about that. So does the familiar, so for the badges, some of them will give like, say IED.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a stacking IED? So if you have, let's say you have 5 badges, the actual badges with the plus like 3% IED, would that be 5 individual 3% or 1 15% block?
It's individual because they fucked it up before, so they made it all individual now.
So it's probably not worth actually having them in there because it just...
You can only have 3 of them. So if you have 3 of them, it's not 9%. It's more like, I think it's like 8.7% or something if you calculate it out. It's still something, but I don't think it's worth min-maxing to specifically go for the IED ones unless you're really like endgame and you're trying to, dot all your I's and cross all your T's. Then it might be worth to revisit. But at that point, some of those sets are quite a bit harder. So you want to be like, if you want to work on that long term, then opening a bunch of booster packs regularly is probably a good idea. But you only really want to start doing that once you're just farming in areas where you're getting thousands of familiars and you've already gotten like maybe 1 good unique one and maybe 2 decent epic ones that you're using. Because of the fusing and everything. Like yeah, you know how that all works?
I have an idea, but I haven't gotten there yet because the areas I'm farming don't drop familiars. So I think once I get there, I'll probably have a little more. But I think I have an idea. You level it up, and then you fuse it in to upgrade it to the next level, and then you on reveal it'll be a good line or bad line in. That's it.
That's that, yeah. And if you push it to epic, you can try to push it from epic to unique and just use it again. And if it fails, you'll lose 50% of the fuse power, and you have to refuse them. Yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah. And then you just hope that the reveal is something useful. If it's unique and it's shit, always keep it, in case the red cards come out as compensation at some point, or maybe hit the server at one point. Because then if you're able to re-roll, that's crazy value for you if you have unique ones, of course. But yeah, if it's shitty, you don't equip it, of course, because then it'll just weigh you down. Higher rarity would be nice, though, because higher rarity gets more defense from leveling, so then at that point you will also have your summon gauge deplete more slowly.
Okay.
So that's also like a nice little added bonus.
Yeah, I haven't trained any places long enough to accumulate like you can see all my familiars are random or was a random set of
oh yeah. And a random set of familiars themselves as well. You've got like a straw target dummy and a scorpion like behind you. Yeah. You're not trying to win any pageants here. You're just trying to get the value from the from their stats. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So it's individual. I don't know if you were around when familiars just came out, but what they did in the beginning was throw it all on a stack. And if people, got like, because the lines that are now on unique for boss damage and IED were actually available on epic, and epics would drop straight up from some monsters at like hundreds of a time if you were just farming in maps.
Wow. And
what people would end up getting is like one familiar. Buddy of mine got like a familiar with a 40% and a 35% IED line on one, and then he had another familiar with 30 boss and 30 IED. So because all the IED, that was just 2 familiars. So but because all of the IED was thrown into one pile, that made it 105%, and then he just had 105 functional IED, just 100% always, and then he could roll out of all the other sources of IED and always have 100%. So, so obviously they had to rework that, because that was kind of broken.
Yeah.
By switching up the lines and by saying that they accidentally added those lines to epic and they should have been unique, which I don't buy for a second, but they probably noticed that it was way too overpowered to have on epic. And by cutting the drop rate for familiars in about a power of 1,000, so to slightly rebalance the input for the system.
Mhm.
So that was a interesting time. But yeah, as long as everything like for the future with these familiars is all clear, then we can move on from that. Legion, I think all of that is clear, and links, which links to equip, I think that's all clear, right? So a little bit
Think
more
so.
safety early on, and then once you get more confident, then you get stronger. Then you can switch them
What
out.
would be good? What would be good to switch out in terms of like if I were to replace it with like the Mihal link or
I probably do the Thief's Cunning first. Probably switch that one out first. It's the least reliable, I guess, because it has the trigger chance and it has a downtime. Like Elementalism would be closer second, but since the difference is only a little bit, and Elementalism just has no requirement and 100% uptime, I would go for the Thief's Cunning on this one.
Okay.
Or if you don't need the crit rate at all, Focus Spirit, but I assume that you need it, so
Yeah.
that's why it's
Actually, I think I use it more for the boss damage, I think, right now, but
well, boss damage
'cause-
and damage is the same, right? It gets the same
Okay.
value. It just gets thrown into one pile when you're fighting bosses. So if
Okay.
you're not using it for the crit, then the Focus Spirit would probably go instead of the Thief's Cunning.
yeah, I think without buffs, I'm sitting at 92% crit rate right now, and then that's without what's it
Decent
called?
sharp eyes?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just a little bit above the cap. Although I
Mhm.
think it's supposed to be higher, but I think something might be off.
They moved some critical rate for Kaiser, right, a while ago, where it was like linked to your transform, and then they made it a passive, so that it also gives you crit in regular form.
Yeah. Oh, that might be it. Yeah, I think I might if my gauge right now is not max, so if I max it, I think I gain another like 6% crit or something. I think I remember being at like almost 98% or something like that.
So if you are at you're at 92, if you're just not transformed, no gauge, just unbuffed, you're at 92.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, that's I'm at like I'm gonna max it out right now to see what I'm at, what it gets to, and then use it.
Because I guess easy fix would be like to switch out the Beast Tamer link that goes you down 7, so you go down to 85. But then I would just reset a few hyperstat points and put 5 points into critical rate there to get the 5.
Oh no, I'm still at 92% at max gauge.
Yeah, because I think you gain percentage damage, right? Not crit rate. You get like 4% damage or something per stage. I think that's in your
Yeah.
link skills. Yeah, 4%. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Is just like take the stats out of like dex and maybe like 1 out of strength or something, or 2, and then put them into crit rate instead, and then switch out the Beast Tamer link skill.
Okay.
That should be an easy fix.
Yeah. I haven't. I think I should have enough. I have some points. I got everything level to 10 and 11, and then just like added into wherever was left. And
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's how it goes. You could put like a little bit into attack, a little bit into strength. Yeah, you have some over for dex. Do you need the arcane power still? The 4 levels.
it was
950?
when I just got to the higher areas of Sphera. I do need it. I think
Yeah.
I'm short a little bit. That's why.
Do you go past? Do you go past like MTS 4?
I haven't got there yet.
MTS 4 is like
right.
the spider maps.
Sorry. I don't think I usually do, but I'm trying to think
Maybe
what
some dailies, right? For the
yeah.
Because I'm thinking.
Occasionally it requires me to have the higher.
Yeah, I wonder if they go past 900. Oh yeah, it's 640. Yeah. So you need like 960. Yeah, so that's about where you're at. 1 or 2 more levels in Asphera, and then you should be golden. Are you using the event shop to get extra symbols, or are you using it for experience?
I haven't actually bought. I only think I've bought so far are the node stones, and then I bought the call it the medal of honors for the last event. So that's what I spent. Otherwise I haven't bought anything else yet.
But it's coins, right? Or can you buy those with the bamboos?
For the bamboos, I can only buy up to Lackline right now.
Yeah, yeah. It gets stuck there even if you have the whole thing unlocked. That's like the
Okay.
highest they let you buy. But do you have a lot of bamboos right now?
21.
Yeah.
Not that much,
So
but yeah.
well, it's quite a bit actually because you get so if you've when you're in the first scroll you get 1 per time you level it up, and then the second scroll you get 2 per time you level it up, and then the third one you get 3 per time you level it up. But you can only buy up to 3 stacks of symbols per day. So if you want to make sure that you buy those out like before the end of the event, you do want to start buying them in time so that you can take full benefit out of that. Because I think it'll help you level up the Lackline quite a bit. Because Arcana typically is pretty fast if you're okay with Spirit Savior and doing those dailies. That's 18 a day. And then Lackline typically needs some help because, it depends on how far you go in Dream Defender.
Okay.
But are you doing those dailies now, or were those the dailies that you were talking about that you dropped to get a little bit more peace of mind?
Yeah, I dropped doing symbol dailies completely right now, but I think right now I'm pretty much only playing like maybe an hour each day now, just to kind of keep it down. But I'll do like I'll time it with Ursus, so I'll do all my money stuff to keep at least I have some income and not lose any of that. So I'll do Ursus, Maple Tour, and then I'm also running Helix because I'm still looking for one item from there.
Yeah, so it's a good item to or a good boss to roll. I mean.
Yeah, but that's about it. That takes me about half an hour, and I'll just do random stuff here and there. Maybe symbol cap and coin cap, and then that's about it for the day.
Okay.
But I think that once I'm pretty close to, I can probably start introducing 1 or 2 of them again, just to slowly not lose any progress on the symbols, because I'm close to getting the I've gotten all the Helix stuff. I'm just waiting for the earrings to drop, and I'm close to buying it out if it doesn't drop soon. So
yeah, if you don't want to do too much, you want to go like high efficiency for low time. What floor do you clear in Dream Defender?
Let me double check. I haven't done it in like few weeks.
I would guess like 70 or 80, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, no, not that high.
Not that high? Okay. Oh, yeah, because no guild skills, right?
Yeah. I want to say...
Should be 70, though, no?
63 is my best record, so
okay.
yeah, 60s, yeah.
Because you can auto-clear 2 of them, right? So one pretty efficient thing you could do would be to go in, clear 60, and then just get to 61, just immediately leave just after clearing 1 floor, and then auto complete the other 2, and that'll be 6 symbols. That's pretty fast. For Arcane, if you just because you can auto skip the other ones, I think you just have to do 1 kill quest, and that'll give you 8 symbols, and that'll also help you with the point capping. So you're doing like 4 birds in 1 stone there. That would be a pretty good one. And if you can do Spirit Savior, I don't know how reliably you can do that, but if you could do 1 run to get 10k, that'll be 10 symbols. So those 3 are definitely like the most efficient ones you could do. And Vanishing Journey, you get 3 skips. So if you do 1 kill quest in Vanishing Journey, that'll also be 8 symbols.
Yeah.
So there'll be 4 dailies for a total of 23. Wait, 10, 8... 8, that's already 26, and 6 plus 1, so there'll be 33 symbols, because once you do the 3 runs of Dream Defender, you can also talk to the NPCs to get 1 coin extra, right, from the...
Yes.
Yeah, so there'll be like 33, I think that's 33 symbols you can get, that should be like within 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think when I did run them, it wasn't too bad. Like it didn't take that. I think the longest it took was a Sparrow's one because I was struggling to kill a little bit, but the other ones weren't so bad. Yeah.
Because the highest level monsters in the Sphere are like 248 or something, right? So you're gonna get that damage reduction there, and maybe you don't hit the plus 50% final damage either. I mean, you have 30%, so it's pretty close, but it'll be a little bit slower, for sure.
Yeah, but okay, I can start. I think that once Like
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
kind
want to
of
make you
like,
do things you don't want to do, of course. But like,
yeah,
if
no,
you want to slowly introduce dailies again, like that's definitely a good power spike for later, and those are the most efficient ones that you can do if you're feeling up for it.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, I think once like I'll probably like like to keep things relaxed. I'll probably like once I finish with Helix, I'll probably put symbols back in since I'm not doing Helix anymore, and then kind of
Mm-hmm.
swap things in and out.
Yeah, exactly. And if there are event stores and everything that you can use for Sphere or Morass symbols, then focus on those because those are going to be the slowest to level by far.
Okay.
And because they're the lowest level, they also have the highest efficiency, as in resource to stat gain.
Okay. I'll spend money on those ones then.
Yeah, I think there's like
Cool.
boxes in the later store, and then packs of them in the second store, I think.
Yes. Yes, I think so.
Okay, so how are we looking? I think that's all the peripheral stuff taken care of, I think. Let me cheat real quick. Matrix, familiar. Yeah, transfer. When it comes to upgrading, are you clear on the systems and everything? Like, how good are the flames you're looking for? Like, when do you push
Ye-
potential? When do you push Star Force kind of thing?
I think I'm okay with most of them. The only one question I think I have one. Well, I have the for the transfer hammer for the Sweetwater. I think I
Mm-hmm.
have I think that Dominator right there that you're looking at. I
Yeah.
think I rolled 99 strength on it. I can't remember or something like that, or some might be hard to see, but or some really
90,
high.
96 and 64. That's the roll you still have.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure if I should keep that or if I should keep rolling that.
That's pretty good. That's because that's a lot of secondary stat. Even in the end game, secondary stat usually scores for like 10 to 1. So that's still like 6.4. So that's looking at 102 flame score. That's pretty close to what people usually settle for. And if you're more of a solo, slow progress kind of person, I think that's good enough to settle for, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was the main thing. But yeah, I don't think I have any burning questions. I think I understand. Like, yeah, I prioritize Star Force first, and then slowly upgrade everything else to potentials afterwards.
Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of the crit rate because I was wondering why it was so high, but you have a line in your emblem. That explains.
Yeah, I just settled for the first two-line attack I got.
Oh
For
yeah,
both
no,
of
I
those.
don't fault you. Like this would get me into the end game for sure. Like I think I held on to 21 attack and 9% damage until all of my stuff was 21 star, and then I circle back. It's a really expensive upgrade, so
Yeah.
no need to explain yourself on that. That's definitely the way to go. Same thing with the secondary. Like, sure it's dex, but the 21 attack, like you want to get that in and get that working for you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should, if it was worth it to start a secondary or even emblem to try and go for like the triple or even the boss and two
With Elena boss, yeah, you have because you have some outs. The thing would be, technically your best in slot is I think from Evo Lab, right?
Yeah, I think so. It
It's
gives
like-
like a few extra attacks. Or something.
It's like 8 stat but 1 attack or something. It's like it's barely better, but it's Evo Lab. Oh no, wait, what's the name for the? What's your secondary's name? What is that? Dragon Essence. Okay, wait, what if it? Dragon Essence. Oh god, Dragon Essence. That reminds me of like Dragon Scales. And do you remember that from like a long time ago to upgrade your items?
No, I don't think I played then.
Oh, you had to. Oh god, what was it again? I think you had to get level 110 items, and then you had to add. There were these dragon scales and I think dragon essences, but they might have been like a different item, and they only dropped from like all of the dragons in Leafer, and you had to get like 20 or 25 of each of those drops, and they were pretty rare, so they went for like quite a lot of money. And then you had to hand those all in to upgrade it to the level 120 weapons at the time. It was
Wow.
yeah, because just because of how much better they were, and yeah, because you had like no access to any damage. The fact that they just gained like I don't know, like 7 or 8 base attack was like, whoa, you know, that was that was like insane back then. And now you're just like, oh, 1 star, 16 attack, let's go. Yeah. It's a different time for sure. Oh, 10 all stat and 2 weapon attack. Okay, so it'd be like a 2 weapon attack upgrade. Yeah, so what some people do is if they're gonna min max on their secondary anyway, they'll just start working on whatever is their best in slot secondary and just start throwing extra cubes on there, you know, like Master Craftsman to get it to unique, and then extra Meister cubes or something to try to get it to legendary. And then if there's a cube event, then they'll just roll on that, so you can go full red cube and you don't have to worry about having to settle for something worse on your current one.
Right.
So that could be like a side project thing to get started. Yeah.
Okay.
So everything's 2%. Oh yeah. So your set is for boss. You use that, and then item boss. So how much drop rate is that if you're in the item boss combination?
I think it's 140. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines.
140. Yeah. 1, 2,
I have one item with double. I think. Oh, no, do I double? No, my
double as an earring. Pendant. I think. Oh yeah, the green, yeah. 1, 2, 3.
And the Sweetwater I just rolled. That's a temper. Well, a holder, but yeah.
Yeah, but do you have one of the Sweetwater, and then for damage you use the
the condense. I go back to the condensed power crystal because it actually gives me more damage boost.
Versus, the set bonus, right? Yeah, and possibly the flame, as well. Wait, for item boss, do you use the condense or do you use the tattoo? Because in the picture, I think you have the.
I think I use. Oh, I maybe did it wrong. I think I do use the Sweetwater. I might just screen capped it at the wrong time, or missed it when I screen capped it.
Yeah. I think that's the only one, but then the rest all makes sense. Yeah. So you're waiting for the belt drop and then to buy a pendant. Oh.
I bought I have all the other 3. I'm just waiting for the belt dropped, waiting for the earring to drop, and or I'll buy it if I get it first.
Right. Oh yeah, here I see. Belt drop. You have the pendant. Yeah. This one in the back drop. Right. Keep streaming. Okay. It's that's the fake Salab weapon?
Yep.
Right. Okay, that's why you're not going super crazy with it. Makes sense. Very nice top. Very nice hat flame. Damn.
Yeah. Got lucky on those ones.
That is beautiful. 64, 64, and 6. That's excelente. Top flame nice. Pants flame nice. That's solid CRA. Belt, very good placeholder. So for belts, are you planning on going like crazy with pink beam belts and transferring over?
I'm just gonna transfer that into the reinforce. I'm gonna put into the superior, and then just get the last 17 from 16 to 17, hopefully.
So yeah, I get that. For the longer term, being able to front load your risk to getting a high star superior without losing out on your current stat is like a very luxurious position to be in. And since your current belt is actually already really good, you get the 3-line strength, even if it's unique, and a 4-line all stat, 4 all stat line on the potential, and it is 17 stars. I think the upgrade from that to that is mainly just the set bonus, right? So if you can make the upgrade a little bit more worth it on top of the set bonus, if you could get, and with the pink bean belt, you can get so many backups because you can even do normal if you have some drop rate to get some extra belts, and you can do chaos. It's going to cost some money, of course, but if you could just send it, you can get it to 19 or 20 or something, and then you transfer over, you will make that upgrade so much more significant. Just because of how much extra weapon attack that will be.
Okay.
So that could be something, but of course, since your income isn't insane right now, that is something to think about. But maybe, you know, I think if you switch the belts just as they are without transfer hammering, it'll probably still be an upgrade because of the ID and the boss.
Yeah.
And then the Star Force, like getting up to 15 is not the worst thing. And then if there's a 5 and 15, then you're just like one upgrade away anyway. So that is something to consider as like another way of going for, because you're still waiting for the other piece of the set anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you're not switching really soon. So if it takes longer, because the 5 and 15 is still 2 weeks away, or almost 3 weeks. By then, if you have a bunch of belts and you have a decent amount of money and you can send it, because most of your stuff is already really close to 17. Was your initial thought to just get everything 16, move into Abzo, and then 16, 17? Was that the initial plan? Mm-hmm.
Right now, most of the stuff's sitting at 15 or 17 already, and most of the stuff that's 15s, I'm just waiting for the next event to either transfer up. So even like all the Dom pendants and like my current Dom pendant too, I was gonna transfer one of those into the superior pendant and the other one into the Sweetwater pendant. So with the same thing that you've said apply to those ones as well then? So should I try and call it?
Pendants is harder, right? Because you don't get a bunch of reinforced to drop, and you don't also get a bunch of dominators. So for those, it's a bit harder. It's less reliable. The earrings could be if you get a bunch of reinforced drops in the meantime. That's kind of a thing, because the only other earrings that you're looking at is like the shaman earrings if you're training at like Future Perion, or making Meisters, which is like kind of or the weird ones in Krichas, or the the Oz earrings. You're getting like really obscure at that point. And the reinforced ones will still be kind of rare, even if you're doing Helix every day. So for those, it kind of makes sense, I would say. Okay. Because you're trying to see like where can I push past 17 that I will maintain the value for a long period of time, and that I can do with a relatively low risk. And then the main thing that stands out for me is that the belt is like a huge option. Other than that, like you can get way more shoulders now, so that's a bit lower risk actually of like going higher on possibly the stuff that will go into Abzo, so you can go into higher Abzo if you want. Maybe even just one extra star. Of course, it kind of sucks because if you go 16, transfer 16, safeguard to 17, that's pretty safe. If you want to go to 18 and you want to transfer, that means you have to go to 19 to be able to transfer, right? And there's like way more risk. So that does mean that you can only really go for that if you have the money to back it up. You could choose 1 or 2 items to do it with, and then I would say the belt is like easy to get a bunch of backups for. The cape, you can probably get a bunch of Enraged Sakum capes. You might already have some, right?
Yeah.
Those are easier. The Remaru pieces are easier as well, but you have to deal with different traces, different items, and having to re-go up to 12 or up to 15 every single time. That can be very time consuming. So I would, if you get budget pink bean belts, and then the other thing would be CRA, because you're building up backups for that probably. So pushing past 17 on those would probably be also relatively low risk.
Okay.
But
and those now are just like, call it, I have like the couple hundred.
Yeah, exactly.
Per stack, and then just transfer it. Okay.
Yeah, because you don't have to transfer hammer. So with the other ones, it's like, oh yeah, like I said, if you want to go to 18 on Abzo, you want to not risk the Abzo. That means you want to go to 19 on the other stuff, which is pretty crazy. But because if in the same amount of money, roughly, because it's also level 150, if you can go to 19 CRA, like that'll be really nice. If you can get 2 stars on all of those, that's probably like 20 attack on each. So that's like 60 weapon attack, for way lower risk than to get 3 items up to 19 transfer into Abzo to get 1 extra star on Abzo. Yeah. So you're basically doubling your gains for your money there. Because you're probably making like a little more than $1 bill a week.
Yeah.
Like 1.2, 1.3, something like that. Yeah, so you're not going super crazy. So you make like hopefully around $4 bill 3.5 between now and the event. And how much money do you have right now?
Sitting just like over 6.5 bill.
So you get like around 10, hopefully. Yeah, because I think, because as soon as you pop into the Abzo stuff, hopefully that Lotus clear will be soon. Hopefully, well, today's a Wednesday, right? So hopefully you can clear it before the reset today.
Yeah.
Well, not with the state of the game now, but I mean,
Yeah, servers are so laggy. I honestly like trying to play in
dude,
the
if you could
evening
do
is,
it
like,
now, you do it on the hard mode, then you're just ready for the big leagues. You could just run right into Lucid, honestly, at that point. Without your Legion working, and I don't know if your link skills are, But yeah, in the beginning, it's very important to just like go in and try to not die. If you could run out of clock on a boss, then you know that all you need to do is just get stronger gear and you can kill it, right? So that could still be a good test. But yeah, it might be even harder now than. Yo, it's actually crazy about your the pants has it, but in general, Allstat goes together with jump a lot, right? You probably noticed that.
Yes.
But you have a bunch of items with Allstat that don't have jump. It's very, very interesting. Like your cape doesn't, your hat doesn't, your top doesn't. That's why those flames are so good, because as soon as you can actually get a line of Allstat and it doesn't take jump, then suddenly the flame immediately has so much more potential to being good.
I actually never noticed that until you actually said it now, but I remember earlier, like when watching the streams, you did mention that it always comes with jump, but I've never noticed.
Yeah, not always, but some guy in Korea found it, and then I started checking my items, and I had like every character had like one item maybe that didn't, and all the other ones didn't. Like your cup, like even your cup does. Bean mark, condensed spiral crystal. Like the Mechanic Pendant doesn't, and then it's a 16, and then it's a 4 attack line instead of a 4 jump line. That sweetens the deal immediately. Yeah, it's some of those weird connection things. Yeah, and the cape will be a big upgrade. And for for gloves and shoes, most of the time I like to go for the root items. You know about those? And
yes.
Yeah.
I think I didn't have the money last time, or I just didn't want to spend it, so I just didn't up them to 15 last time.
Didn't pre to 15, yeah.
I wasn't sure if I should. Is it best to just go from like penciler into the root, or just level up the root up one right away?
Same reason that you would do it on CRA, because in the fact that you have near unlimited backups, and the cost isn't. So the reason you would go for lower is because even though the cost is a bit higher to transfer over and get one extra star, because you have so many backups, that kind of sweetens the deal that you don't mind that it costs a little bit more, right? But in the case of these root items, because you can just buy another one, because you probably have a bunch of those coins, right? Because you can just buy another one, then you want to do it right on the item and not go through Pencilier, because then, 16.
Okay.
Yeah. 16 will be more expensive than 16 on the other one, but not more expensive than 17 on the other one, kind of idea.
Right.
You could, with your gloves, you could go straight up, right? You could go down to 16, down to 15, up to 16, transfer to 7, safeguard to 17 again. But then you would have to kind of recube it immediately to not lose too much damage.
Yeah.
That would be the downside. So it might depend on how much money you have left, but that would save a lot of time and money there by salvaging. But yeah, of course, epic to legendary, and then having to reroll into that.
Yeah, that
quite nice potential.
Billion.
Yeah, it could be 5 cubes, and it could be a few hundred. Yeah, you never really know. Yeah. Sometimes you roll 8% crit damage and like 4 cubes back to back, and then sometimes you don't see it for a few packs, and it's
Oh, sorry. While we're on the items, to my black bean mark, is that worth keeping? Like, or should I still go for the Sweetwater, the monocle? Like, I'm still, it hasn't dropped for me yet. But like,
you mean the like the pat mark hasn't?
Yeah, the pat mark, hasn't dropped for me, but like.
Yeah,
Is
so
it needed?
if you're gonna be at 17 for a while, it's mainly if you want to go if you want to go past 20, then obviously like you can't use the black beam mark. If something like 18 or 19 is probably the highest you're ever gonna go anyway, the black beam mark makes more sense because of the flame advantage and because of the set bonus with the badge and the cup.
Okay.
Because it keeps the 3 set bonus, right? So that definitely sweetens the deal. And you already have the lines on it. So I would just keep using this. It's more like when someone is in situations where it's like epic or maybe unique, then I usually still advise them to switch over, because once you start rolling into it and you're going for strength, but then you end up rolling something really good in other stats, you might want to switch over. But still, because of the set bonus, I think the black beam mark sits in a good spot. You could probably just safeguard it up to 17 and then just use it for damage for quite a while, yeah.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe you get like a berserk or what, like an eye patch or something. Who knows? And you're still holding up for that Kaiserion, I assume.
Yeah, I have not lucked out on that at all.
No. Damn. So do you kill it in dropper gear with all the drop on and everything? Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it is affected by drop rate, but because some items doesn't work on, right? Like Pabla's mark and the higher pitch boss set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've run it with both and I haven't seen it. So.
Yeah. Usually when there is the possibility for people to just be in the game for super long and have super old characters, but they still haven't gotten it after running it every single week, the assumption is safe at that point to say that it's not like the drop rate doesn't apply to it.
Right.
Because yeah, if someone's running like near 200 or like with familiars and everything like near 300% drop rate, you would expect them to see a significant increase over other people. But if someone without drop rate, if there are too many people without drop rate who get it like within a few months, and then is also a group of people with 300% drop who haven't seen it yet in a year, usually that that meshes. And you're like, no, that probably doesn't work. And if there are individual patch notes that say like we increase the drop rate, that typically means like, okay, that probably means that it wasn't being multiplied. Yeah.
That will be a big upgrade if I ever do get it, though.
Yeah, big project. But then you want a 22-star pencilier, I think, to transfer over.
Yeah.
And then pray to RNGs on those flames. Even the low tier flames give you like 100 attack or something. It's pretty sick. Right, because the base is like 400 or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I've seen some other people, and it says it adds like 2 mil range straight up to their attack first of all, but it's
because actually the percentage, I think the percentages on non-flame advantage gear is actually higher because their base stats is usually lower. So it actually helps you. Is it level 200 item or is it? No, it's 150, right? No, 150.
Yeah, 150, yeah.
Like 400 base, not flame advantaged. Yeah, so tier 4 is 86 and tier 5 is 117 attack. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think with everything on it, I think you end up getting close to or just over 700 attack, I think, with the star forcing.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
well, hopefully it drops
yes.
tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah. No pressure, just tonight or tomorrow, please. Well, yeah, then you have one more week. Yeah. Because honestly, if you get it, then like drop all your projects and go for 22-star penciler. Like that like takes precedent over all the other stuff. I mean, maybe the 16, get things to 16 and then transfer over and then sit on 16 Abzo maybe, right? Just do the free ones. But then the weapon will be like a huge gain, especially compared to the fake Zolab. Because one thing that you are maybe not noticing because you probably had the fake Absolab weapon for a long time now, is that the weapon is actually bad. Like it's way better than, and it saves you from investing a bunch in Pencilier, in Fafnir. But it's actually really, because the potential is horrible, actually, right? Mm-hmm. The 10% crit is nice. Okay, and that's where more of the crit comes from, right? So that's why we do have to think about the crit a little bit in the long term, especially with your hyperstats, because it's like 19 crit is transient. The 9 on your emblem is a little bit less so but the weapon. your potential is basically just 44% damage, which is kind of like a 40% damage line on legendary, and that's it.
Right. Yeah.
So you not having percent attack
2
there
lines.
is such a huge loss.
Yeah.
And I noticed this when I had like a unique with just 2 line of magic attack on my Kana, and then I was like, oh, I've got the Fig Lab, it's 17 star and everything, and I put a good flame on it, and it was still worse than like a 12-star Fafnir without a flame. I was like, oh, percentage magic attack is actually really good, and yeah, same thing goes for percentage attack, of course. But it's good that you're used to this situation, because then when you make the upgrade, it's going to be huge and it's going to feel really, really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I hope I'm gonna pray for a Kaiserium for you in the in the future.
Yes, please. Lord Jesus. Yeah. I don't think there's much more questions about gear. I think flames are. There's nothing that stands out to me that needs working on. I don't
No,
see
flames are pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty solid. I mean, you can always upgrade, but yeah, that's at some point it gets crazy expensive. So Dominator's going to 16, and then you're gonna start trying to transpose. Yeah, the thing is going to be like, it's probably going to take a few days to transpose, so you're not going to be able to transpose and get it to. So one thing some people do is just they get it to 16 preemptively, just safeguard it to 16, and then try to do the transposing so that when the 5, 10, 15 happens, then you can get it to 16 and then safeguard it to 17 for the switch.
Okay. All right.
Because the chance is very low that you get it on the same day, right? Because there's only 10 attempts, yeah.
Okay.
And for the extra cost of safeguarding it, it's probably worth it to do it that way, I would say.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Yep. You have enough dineros saved up for that?
I have. I stopped doing that a while ago. I only have 80 right now, but I do have the level 10 ship, so I get like.
Oh yeah.
Was it 90 or 100 a day or something?
You can get a lot a day, yeah. Because it's 10 attempts, and every attempt is 10 coins, so you can spend up to 100 dineros every day trying to transpose it.
Yeah.
That'll be the one daily that you add in the short term then. And then as soon as you get it transposed, you drop it again. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything, I guess. Yeah, the secondary, like on the side, it's like a thing you can do. It's pretty low priority.
Okay.
Because your current one is pretty good. Yeah, then everything's 17. Are you using the current ring? Have you decided where you're gonna use that?
I use it on the shade.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm starting. It's a side project that I'm slowly working on too.
Okay. And it's good to have a solid damage ring on there.
Yeah, I think. Oh, as your ring. So, I was thinking that I'd probably try to get 4 damage rings. So right now I'm using one of them. 2 of them have call it drop and 2-line strength. So that's what I've been using. Should I just stick with
synergy.
those, or the synergy and the superior Gollix. So I'm not sure if it's worth to like get a solid, and then what was the other one?
Using these 4, right? Synergy, superior, reinforced, and Kana. You're using those 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So not sure if it's worth to get buy a solid and then roll it for all damage. I also have enough to make a Meister, but I don't want to craft Meister ring.
Just enough to craft 1?
I have all the materials, but it's just mostly the actual leveling up to from 10 to Meister.
Oh yeah, that's it's a chore, yeah. Well, you kind of don't want to go have like 14 rings in your inventory if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to go too crazy with all of that. Because you have right now you just have 4/4. Or 3 extra. Wait, drop mezzo.
I have 3 extra, I think.
Yeah, so you have 7 total.
Yeah.
So getting a solid would always have space eventually anyway. Even if it's just a line of extra drop in your full drop set. So I think that can hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, if you have the money for it. Just make sure you set enough money aside for the projects, right? Deciding on how you're gonna transfer hammer. Checking how much the Dominator pendant costs to get to 16. Kind of like count for about 10 bill total on that day. And then kind of work your way backwards from all the important projects, and then see how much play money you have, how much allowance you can give yourself for side project stuff.
Okay. Okay. So prioritize one project.
Yeah, exactly. Like kind of assigned value, and then go from there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what else. There's anything else. Yeah, it's finicky to play with a limited budget, but I guess that's the name of the game.
Well, yeah, if you do that, then you just have to make different types of choices. Some people just rush through the whole thing, and they can because they farm so much. But if you don't spend as much time, you have to be a little bit more meticulous with where you spend. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we get a Dark Lords of Darkness soon, so you can stop getting the Ukraine totems, I guess.
Yeah.
That's probably something you would like to drop as well.
Yeah, that's like once a month thing that I just do. I gotta do that soon, actually. But is it a month? Yeah, I think it's 30 days, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I know what to do then.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, if any one or two things pop up, or you have like a question written down on a paper you don't have in front of you, just just let me know in the chat or in Discord, and then I'll get back to you ASAP.
Awesome.
All right. Well, wait, you went through YouTube, right? Yeah. Nice. Well,
Yeah,
thank
I did.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the YouTube videos, man.
Yeah, man. I think I've watched every single one
You did?
from like last up to a few months ago once I started watching. But yeah,
Mhm.
very informative, really good content. Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the appreciation, I guess. People say like big fan. I'm like, oh, I'm a big fan of big fans. So I don't know what else to say usually at the time. But yeah, it's cool to see the little bit of the crossover between YouTube and the stream. It's very different because one is like live content and one is pre-made, so it's like kind of making the bridge between the two, I guess, with this.
Yeah. I think I started I think I found you through YouTube first, and
Mhm.
then I started following your stream. But yeah, I think you have almost all the content covered in terms of your YouTube videos.
We get a lot of ground covered for sure, yeah. And every session is, I mean, yeah, on its surface can seem similar, but the people are different, so that makes the advice different most of the time as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. See the more of the human, like you're trying to match the human element with the more the number element, I guess.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. All right. Well, I'll catch you around then, and pray to RNGesus, and best of luck on the high RNG drops.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. I'll see you around.
See ya.
Yep. Bye. Yes, that was a great conversation. Thank you, Discord. All right. So some extra info and some fine tuning of the short-term, long-term dailies and stuff for our boyo. Assume their gender. I'm sorry. For our person, our viewer. They won the giveaway from YouTube, and we have other ways that you can get this progression session. Either check the description, or check my Twitch stream and check the description there, or use !! progression there, or be sub and buy it with channel points that you can get from watching the stream, or get a gifted sub and use the channels that you get from watching the stream, and you can get it completely for free, maybe, or wait for a giveaway like this guy did. In any case, if you enjoyed it, I'm glad. If it was informative, I'm very happy. If there's anything you noticed that I talked about or that they talked about that you think was important that we missed, or maybe something we got a little bit wrong, let me know as well, because I'm learning every day. I don't know everything about all the classes, but I try to get my knowledge as up to date as possible. So as always, thank you for watching. And if you want to see me live, I'm live on twitch.tv/Scardor.